Hello again, welcome back if you've been with us throughout the day, which is marvellous. It's lovely to have your company here at the craft store. This is the second live hour of the one-day special, and I can tell you we had a very, very busy launch. Already almost 2/3 of the entire stock has gone, and I'm saying entire stock because when it's gone, it has gone. Let's say a good evening for the second time tonight to our wonderful Matthew. He's here with us in the studio. Hi Matthew.
Hello, looking forward to this.
Yes, we had a great show earlier on, didn't we? I got to play a little bit as well.
It was good fun. It was a cracking show. You should watch it back on Rewind.
Definitely, definitely. Now, when it comes to the one-day special, look at the saving. Look at that yellow box there. £49 saving. You're actually saving more than you're paying for the one-day special. And to boot, we've got the flexi-buy option for you as well. Let's go through everything, Matthew, because, of course, we have got a wonderful DVD, which is a bit of an exclusive for us.
It is. So a few weeks ago, I filmed this DVD in the SIA studios. Really high quality production on this one. And actually, there's 4 lessons, one for each season. That is the first time we've done that. This DVD is only available through the craft store. We've got a clip to show you as well, which will be really nice. So there's 4 projects, one for each season. And yeah, it's just a complete watercolour course, in my opinion. So it really shows all the nice kind of individual aspects of trees. You've got bluebells in there, you've got how to paint nice autumnal trees, you've got winter scenes, beautiful skies. There is a lot of content on this, Catherine, to learn. There really is.
There certainly is. I think we've seen 1 or 2 other images as well there. But of course, when you take the techniques from the DVD, you can carry those forward. You can improvise as well. It is like having Matthew in your own room, isn't it, at home? And of course, you can rewind, you can pause, you can follow those techniques. We're talking about greeting cards here, Matthew, because we've got greeting cards as part of the one-day special. But I did say earlier on, once you've learnt those techniques, you're going to take that forward into larger paintings as well.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter how sort of big or small you do this, but there's something nice and straightforward about painting these small size watercolours. I love doing them, and people that I teach also enjoy this nice, easy to follow size. And of course, the fact we've given you 10 sheets of premium watercolour paper, Bockingford watercolour paper, we've given you 10 mounts, we've given you the card, pre-scored. The envelopes as well come with this kit as well, and the little sticky back foam pads that put it all together. So you get the DVD, you get the 10 greetings card watercolour sets, if you like, and then you get the paints as well. Now the paints are special. Yeah. The paints are very special.
They are. They're beautiful. You've got, of course, 2 different colours there. We do have a pick and mix if you want to add to those, but fantastic that they're included. And you can see there's a couple of brushes there. Now, one of them in particular, well, they're both very special, but one, the fantastic brush. I know, you know, you developed this, didn't you, Matthew? Because you didn't find a brush that did what you wanted it to do. So this was sort of 30 years you said you've been painting and you wanted the right brush, and this on its own is worth almost £12, isn't it?
It is. It's a modern take on an old style fan brush, if you like. It's a 2021 model, and it's taking all the lessons I've learnt over the years, you know, how to paint and that kind of thing, and it's putting them into a brush that does special effects. It does trees, it does flowing water, it's great for animal fur. You mentioned that in the previous hour. So it's a really nice way of sort of taking like an old formula and putting a new spin. It's a thick brush that's designed to go random. The edges go nice and spiky, and you can see here we're using it on like a nice kind of summer tree, and this is a clip from the actual DVD, so you can see how close we get into this. And wow. Yeah, it shows the palette close up as well. It's a really cool brush, folks, it really is. And it's, again, it's almost £12 on its own for that brush.
Amazing. And talking of palettes, we do get a palette as well, as you can see there. So yes, a circular palette. You've got lots of room there to put all your different paint colours, that large area in the middle as well. And then, wait for it, I absolutely love this bag. Now this, you can find it actually if you're looking for it individually. It is worth £29.42, and I need to open this right out because look at this. This is going to hold everything. It's going to hold all your paints, your brushes. You've got zip pockets in there. You're going to put your watercolour card in there. This has got a great carry handle as well. Whether you are travelling with it or you keep it at home just to keep everything nice and compact, what a great deal this is. You do get the carry handle included in there as well, so as you just fold this up, you can see if you are on the move with it, everything nice and secure. All that for that amazing price, and all you need to pay today is £19.86 if you are taking advantage of the Flexi. Item number 282360, that's all you need to know for that one. And of course, as I say, check those baskets out, because when the stock has gone, it has gone. Now, something else we need to talk about, Matthew, is the SAA.
Yeah, so the SAA, the biggest art group in the world, and they've been around for a long time, since the sort of early 90s. I've been a member since the mid-90s. What is the SAA? It's to keep the paint flowing, keep those artistic juices pumping around your veins. That's what the SAA is all about. I've been lucky to work with the SAA for a long time now and develop products with them as well. So here we're giving you a year's membership to the SAA. And for that year's membership, as well as keeping the paint flowing, which is important, we're giving you some really cool goodies as well. So as part of your membership, you get this sent to your door, and you get a membership to this massive art group, but you get a wonderful subscription to Paint Magazine. I'll have a quick flick through this. I'll just sort of hold it here. And it's a magazine that all us professional artists write for, and it's full of step-by-step tutorials on how to paint. It's a glossy mag. It's not full of adverts. It's full of interesting tutorials on all the different mediums. That is with your membership. You get 6 of those a year. You get the Home Shop catalogue. You get a special one that is just for members that comes to your door with seasonal offers, this one being the autumn one here. And then there's the annual catalogue, which is full. There's 2 prices in those catalogues. There's one for members and one for non-members. And of course, as a member, you get big discounts. Plus, you get free shipping as well. If it's not in there, it doesn't exist in the art world, is what I tell people. You also get access to the online world of the SAA, which includes over 900 art lessons online. So think of your famous streaming services with your big red N and your blue P, or is it a white P? It's a white P against a blue background, that's right. It's got a little sort of sad face under it. It's a bit like that, but for painting. So you get video on demand with the membership, and there's hundreds and hundreds, there's over 900 tutorials on the SAA website, and there's me painting on there. There's all other artists as well, all the different mediums. That's included. You get loyalty points, you get discounts. It's a great chance to join this huge art group. And here's the great thing, folks. If you join through the craft store, through the link on the website, you get this extra little bonus, which is a wonderful travel watercolour brush set. There's 4 brushes. These brushes might look as though they've been chopped in half, but they haven't, because what happens is they fold inside the handle. They're really cool, and it comes in a faux leather pouch as well. That will cost you £45 just to buy that. You get that free, and make sure you go way past the add to basket and don't click it. Keep going down, keep going, and eventually you'll see a little link that says click here for membership. If you do it that way, it takes you to the SAA's website, where you can get that extra bonus. And well, it's worth over £55 that actually, so it's even better. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. And we'll also give you a £5 voucher to spend in the catalogue as well. So you're actually getting £60 worth of wonderful goodies if you join through the craft store.
Amazing. And we did say as well earlier on, if you want to give back to somebody, you certainly can as well. Now, over 2/3 of the entire stock of the one-day special have now gone. Everything that you're seeing in front of me here, don't forget to look at those individual prices. You'll really see how we get to that £49 saving. It is enormous. One of the better deals I think that we've ever seen here. And we have some cracking deals from Matthew every time he visits. Now, we do want to go to demonstration as quickly as possible. We're just panning across everything that you get in there so you can really appreciate what you are actually getting for your money. Don't forget, with that DVD, 4 individual projects, 1 for each season, and those techniques are going to lend themselves perfectly to many more projects to come. Without further ado though, Matthew, if you're ready, can I hand it to you?
Yeah, of course. So it's interesting to see the camera pan across there, because there's so much in this kit, and I'm pretty sure that after all the years I've been working on these shows, I think this is the biggest and the best value that we've brought. I mean, there's a £49 saving, so you're saving more than it actually costs. The greetings card kit comes like this. You get 10 mounts, 10 envelopes, 10 pre-scored cards, you get the little sticky pads, and of course you get 10 sheets of premium Bockingford watercolour paper. Bockingford is a very high quality paper. So it doesn't go all wavy, it doesn't go all buckly like some papers do. It's thick, it's 300 gram, £140. I've stuck it to the back of an old sketch pad. That's optional. You can work straight on at that size quite easily. But if you go to an art store and try and get mounts cut, they are quite expensive. And of course the mounts do fit perfectly on this size paper.
Brilliant.
So let's have a little look at this. Then we've got a white piece of paper stuck to a board, no sketching. And as far as brushes are concerned, one of the stars of the show is this brush. It's a brush that was launched last year. Last winter these came out. And it's the large Fantastic brush. You can see it's got my name all over this brush. It's a brush I've designed. And we called it a Fantastic because it's a modern version of an old fan brush. It's a special bristle. It's nice and broad. You can stipple it, you can do trees. It's very versatile, but it's also nice at painting skies, which is what we're going to do first.
Okay.
So,
what season are we doing then?
I think maybe a bit of an autumn twist would be quite nice to this one. Yeah, let's do a bit of an autumn twist to it, shall we? And we're going to wet the entire sheet of paper this time.
Okay.
So if you wet the entire sheet of paper, there we are. And then once you've got it covered, we're going to paint in the sky. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take the orange from the one day special.
Okay.
That's natural orange. The two colours that we're giving you, the orange and the green, are designed to replicate nature. So the orange is perfect for sunsets, beautiful for the autumnal trees, and of course the green is the perfect pre-mixed green because greens are very difficult to get right. So here we've got a pre-mixed green that looks absolutely bang on. We'll take the orange. I'm also going to pop a little bit of blue on the brush. Now blue is part of the pick and mix, and any blue can be added. Yeah, natural blue is really good for this. So on the brush, what I've got here is I've got orange on one side and blue on the other, so two colours. So it's kind of a brush that's kind of got a bit on that side and a bit on that side. And I want to work across. I want to paint a very quick evening sky. Look how it's adding little bits of each colour.
Yeah.
So you've got a bit of orange, you've got a bit of blue, and of course it mixes together to make more of a grey, which is a good clue to how you get your shadows. So I'll pop that nice sky in place there. And I'm just going to use a bit of water on the brush now. Wipe it through the kitchen paper. That's all we need to add is a bit of kitchen paper and some water to this. So there's the orange again coming through.
There we are. That is a lovely warm colour, isn't it?
So it's a nice clean sky, and you can see it's got that nice sort of warm tone to it. Just going to pop in a bit of orange. There we go. So I'm thinking it's going to be a nice sunset, this, actually, because you've got that nice warm colour coming through. And you can see how nice it is. You can see. Now, this brush is perfect for clouds. It's perfect for clouds. So if I take some more blue and I mix it with some more of the orange, it is the perfect shape for clouds because most clouds have got a round top to them. So if I give it a little bit of a twist here, look, and just sort of do this and just sort of tap across the paper, you can quite easily do clouds. And of course, because it's got quite a thin tip to it, you can also add little clouds, thin lines of clouds. Imagine the sort of silhouetted clouds that you see in those skies on an evening, driving down the A1, listen to a bit of Wham, which is not what I do, by the way. I don't listen to Wham. I can promise you. Might eat a Wham bar. My
journey down the A1 seems just to be staring at the back of a lorry that's not moving just lately. It's terrible. Yeah,
that's about right. That's more realistic. I was being a bit more romantic, weren't I, looking at the sky. Were. So that's my sky there, folks. And I'm just going to clean the brush out, and I'm just going to soften any edges. And then down at the base, I'm going to give this brush some nice natural orange, nice and heavy with the orange.
We've lost about 70% of the entire stock now. Yeah, check your baskets out, everybody. Do not wait until tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say to you. It might not be here. We're going to make sales overnight. We do run repeats throughout the night, again early in the morning before the live show. So yes, do not hesitate on this one, not with that price.
It's a super value because the
Yeah.
bag alone's £29. This brush is 12, you know, so it soon starts to rack up, don't it? And of course, that DVD is only available here. I believe you can buy it on its own. Can you, the DVD? Oh, it's sold out by itself, so it's only available in the.
But when it was available,
special.
that was, I believe, £16 as well.
It was, yeah, that's right, yeah. So here we're doing the good old bash the brush. And again, we'll do it in a bit of slow motion for you. So you can get those bristles nicely splayed. And if you look at the bristles while we're close in, you can see how, look at that. You can see it's nice and spiky.
Yeah.
So a normal fan brush won't do that because it's the bristle and each hair is a little bit shorter than the other. So it's like a bit of a spiky edge, which is perfect for trees. So here, we're going to do some autumnal trees. Now I'm putting the light colour in first and I'm stippling away. We shall go darker with this shortly, but we're just going to stipple in some.
And it is a very light touch as you're actually connecting.
Yeah,
with the
it doesn't
paper
need
there,
much
isn't
at
it?
all. I'll take that right to the top actually. So a nice autumnal sort of tree. Now natural orange is perfect for the autumnal scenes. So I'll bring that in. Nice and strong with the paint. When you were asking about this sort of consistency of colour in the last show, well, yeah. So nice and strong for this, but a little bit of paint goes a long way. And a nice stipple to this for the autumn. Favourite season, I reckon, probably autumn, it's got to be. Let's bring in a touch of blue. Now, blue is available in the pick and mix or just any blue paint, so you could use, here it's natural blue. So we'll make it a little bit darker. So we've got a bit of a browny tinge to this. Again, stipple the brush still. And then we'll go darker at the base, right in the corner. So we'll start to put a few shadows into these trees. And then we'll go nice and strong as we work higher. Because it starts to silhouette as it gets over the top of the...
It's a lovely way of framing, isn't it, using...
yeah, it's a simple little picture. So I want to do 2 or 3 pictures on this show, and obviously you'll have a go as well. I want to sort of whiz through a few variations. I think that'd be quite nice. And we'll show you the versatility of the brush and how you can apply different techniques. So let's get a bit darker at the bottom.
Now, I'm just hearing how busy we are on the one-day special. We had Sue email in earlier who'd ask her husband to purchase as an anniversary present, and he did do so. So it's not just about Christmas presents, it's not just for yourself. Think about this as an option, as a gift for a birthday, anniversary, just a thinking of you, just maybe somebody's not feeling too well as well and they can't get out, and this is something they might be able to enjoy as well. You do not have to be a professional painter. Following along with that DVD, you're going to pick up all of those different techniques and you will be flying yourself, I'm sure of that.
Well, this painting is not a million miles off completion because I want to show you a few sort of quick examples rather than one full picture. So I've got a plastic card, and if you watched the previous show, I used a plastic card to put the trees in. Now, think of silver birch trees. I'll tilt it forward so the light doesn't bounce off the wet paint, and we'll just give it a nice scrape, and this is where these come alive. So basically, I'm scraping off that nice watercolour, and I'm using a plastic card. You can use, actually for this, you can use the corner of a paint tube. I'll show you that. So this is the orange paint here, and you can actually get really fine. Can you see how fine that is?
Oh, yeah. Oh, do you know, I'm really glad you showed us that. I've never
Because
thought
it's
of doing
aluminium,
that.
you see, the tubes, so they're nice and fine for getting the real detail in, as you can see there. So for finer branches,
Yeah,
it works really well. Or I can come back to this one, of course, the plastic card, or you can even use things like fingernails. I mean, it's surprising what you can use for this. But it's just scraping the colour off. And if you're new to painting, you look at a picture with these trees and you think, well, how did you do that? You know, you paint every branch, but of course you don't. You're actually taking the paint away. It's what we call negative painting.
Yeah.
It's a really nice effect. And I want to pop a few little bits in the middle. Right in the centre, just here, for getting nice and close into this bit here, I want to do something a little bit different. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a line across, a couple of lines across, maybe a third one. I want to come down. This is take And there's a little bit of an old rustic. And does that give a bit of scale to the picture?
Now that totally changes everything, because
It makes
was
a focal point, don't it?
As though you were looking at the top of the trees.
Yeah.
And now you've grounded everything as well.
Yeah, it really brings it into play. And it's quick, it's simple, it's a quick sort of 10-minute watercolour. And of course, as part of this kit, as part of this one-day special, we give you 10 bevel mounts, which are professionally cut mounts. If I just pop that on there.
Look at that.
And it just nicely frames the picture.
How quick
So that's a very
that
quick
sound?
watercolour, but it shows that nice evening sky. It shows the techniques, it shows the fan brush, and it works well.
It works very, very well.
was a
And
quickie,
the
that,
more it
wasn't it?
dries, the more effective it is as well.
Absolutely.
Do you know, the colours are stunning, and we only used, of course, a little bit of the green and the orange that come in the one-day special, a little bit of blue. So if you do go for the pick and mix, you can add that into your basket as well if you haven't got it already. Now, when it comes to the one-day special, oh my goodness, we are busy. 3/4 of the stock has gone. Let's just go through everything again. So don't forget, you're getting the DVD, an exclusive. This has literally just been filmed for us. Those 4 projects on there, it's like having Matthew there in your home with you. We could see from the clips how close we get in with that as well. In fact, there's another little clip playing right now. Good explanation. It's not just visual. Of course, Matthew is speaking to us as well, telling us exactly what he's doing. Then you're going to get the cards themselves, the mounts, and I know how much it costs to get mounts cut because I've been to the framing shop many a time and had to pay for that. So 10 card blanks, you've got 10 frames, you've got the envelopes included as well. Superb quality, the Bockingford card, of course. Such a gorgeous colour when it comes to Bockingford as well. Then you've got your palette, your mixing palette. There it is, the plastic circular palette, which mixes beautifully. You don't find that the paint just pulls on the top there. You will get that lovely mix. The 2 paints included, we've got the orange and we've got the green, the natural green there. Lovely colours, a true green, as Matthew says. And then, of course, the all-important brushes. We've really only seen the fantastic brush so far. I'm sure we will get to see the other one, but 2 amazing brushes. The fan brush on its own, worth almost £12. And the worker brush, such a nice fine point on that. We did see that in the earlier round. I'm sure we're going to see it again later. But then, of course, everything can be kept in your fantastic case, worth almost £30 on its own. Was it £29.42 for this one? Yes, it was. There we are. Absolutely lovely. It all folds out. It all folds together again, zips together, and you can carry it around if you are an artist on the move. 282360 is the item number there if you want to go for that. Many of you are, as I say, we are very, very busy on that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the stock disappear by the morning. Now, the pick and mix that was mentioned, this is where you can find that blue. It is one that's recommended, but you've got a choice of any 3 here. So maybe you've already got the blue, maybe you want to go for some different colours. Got some nice options here. The pearl and the silver are very, very busy. I've got a few samples to show you as well. All the different colours available. Let's go through those options for you. So we've got opaque white, we've got the silver, we've got the pearl, natural red is in there, natural turquoise, which looks beautiful. The natural blue, that's the one that's recommended that Matthew used, the natural yellow, and the natural green light. Now, I've got some more little samples to show you here. Obviously, you might recognise some of these from previous tutorials, I'm not so sure. Maybe some DVDs that you've already got, but you can see how beautifully framed they are and showing all of the different colours here. Now, I know 1 or 2 of these have got the silver and the pearl in. I did manage to find those early. In fact, there's one coming up. I don't know if it is actually. Matthew, you'll be able to tell me. Would that have an in? There's a little bit of sparkle in the sky.
Yeah, so that could be the pearls. So you can put the pearl over the top of the watercolour and it'll just, it's like a semi-transparent, so you can sort of glaze it on and it dries like a pearl, like a sort of off-white colour.
Yeah,
so it's great for the winter scenes, actually.
It certainly is. So go for your pick and mix, only £16.98. If you are going for that today, you've got a £3 savings, 679,967. Now, don't forget about the SAA. If you want to become a member, then it's very, very easy. Do not put the product into your basket and check it out. No, you need to find the description. Over on the website, that's where you'll find it. You can see the free gift there. Journey through the craft store, that's the only way you're going to get that free gift. If you scroll down to the description itself, there you can see in the pink, the dark pink there, click here for SAA membership. That will take you to another page. Then you just find the button that says join today. There it is, very easy to manoeuvre around there. The price is only £45. That gift worth more than the actual price of the membership. But yeah, make sure you do grab that free gift by joining, following that link there. Wonderful. Right, let's get back to Matthew, see how we're getting on with that lovely painting.
So it's just worth saying, if you do join the SA, remember you get all these wonderful goodies. You get a book on watercolours as well. Of course, you get the big discounts, you get the catalogue. This is all sent to your house in that amazing subscription to Paint Magazine, plus you get access to the giant online world and all those video lessons that are online. I think I've got about 60 hours myself on there, but there's 900 videos on there, so there's a lot of content to enjoy as part of your membership. And the £55 travel brush set is also included, which means you're in profit, aren't you? Because it's £45, so
definitely.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, I think, to join via the link on the craft store website. So that was the autumn scene. It was a quick, simple picture. But if you was sending these as greetings cards to people, you know, what a great thing to receive. And here's the stages. That's how we put the sky in, the clouds went in. And then, of course, we started to stipple. And then, of course, it's the shadows that was really making the biggest difference. And then that scrape away with a plastic card or the paint tube or the fingernail, whatever works for you. And it's just shows how kind of accessible and how straightforward watercolour is. And remember, the DVD that's included in your one-day special does include the mounts, which really put the finishing touch. We call them magic mounts in this sort of art world, because it just makes everything look that little bit more professional. You get 10 of those, you get 10 sheets, you get the pre-scored card as well. And that bag's cool. I want to show you the size of this. It's not quite as tall as me.
It's probably as tall as me.
But it's pretty big, and there's 4 sections. The first section's got this nice elasticated bit, which I would use for putting my sketchbook in. Slot down the back. Here's got this little zip bag that is inside, perfect for your paint tubes. And then it's got Velcro here, so you can get water bottles in.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, and then down here is another area that I think you would, you know, put your sort of sketchbook in or your watercolour pad. It's a good size as well. And then here, right at the end, which is probably my favourite part of the bag, I'm just going to kind of show you this if I can. It's got like a little sort of pencil case kind of thing for, you know, popping your pencil sharpeners in, your rubbers, your erasers, all that business. And then here is the little bits where you pop your brushes. Keep them nice and clean and nicely protected. So it's a really cool thing. And that itself is over £29. So for an extra tenner, you get all those other wonderful goodies.
Just looking at that as well, we had Deflecto on last week. I reckon the paint savers will fit in there as well. You know, the palettes with the lids, with the sealable lid, and also that little pencil case. You could pop your mobile phone in there.
Perfect.
It's brilliant.
Meant to be, isn't it, this? It really is. It's a great little kit, folks. It really is. It's good for anyone that's new for painting or anyone that's been painting for a wee while. Let's move from autumn to winter. So here's a bit of an autumn sort of woodland. But what we'll do is we'll flip this over and we've got a snow blizzard on the other side. There you go. Huh? I think my work here is done. I'm off to the pub for a Halloween cocktail. We were talking about Halloween cocktails earlier. What's the best Halloween cocktail? Let's paint in a bit of a winter landscape, folks. And again, on the DVD, you get all 4 seasons. Only thing I've added is some water, some masking tape. The board is very much optional. It doesn't really need a board. But it's what I'm used to working on. People often say, is working on an easel the thing to do? Well, no, not really, just the table or your knee, to be honest. But I want to take a bit of masking tape. I'm going to remove stickiness from it, wipe some moisture from the brow. Plenty of that in a warm studio. And what we'll do is we'll kind of pop this, let's go down on an angle, and then we'll just sort of sweep it up a little bit on that side. So we've got that nice little sort of dip to it. Then we'll use the fantastic brush again. Because it's natural hair, it's great for doing skies. All skies start off wet into wet. So you wet the paper, and it makes sense to put the orange in because it's nice and warm. And I must admit, I do like painting snow scenes. I think there's something magical about snow. It's one of my favourite subjects. So that's the orange. We'll clean the brush, and then I'll bring in another colour, which would be, let's bring in natural blue, because natural blue is a good addition to this. And I'll use natural blue. It's in the pick and mix, so any blue would work. Any primary colour like blue would work nice across the top. And then we'll just fade it in. Look how nice that's made, a very simple but effective watercolour sky. Let's go a little bit darker at the top. Let the paint spread. It's so nice working on this small size. It's easy. It's not daunting by any means. Clean the brush really well. Now here, we'll talk about the palette. If you look at this, you can see that the paint mixes. It mixes nice in the palette. It doesn't turn into little sort of oily blobs like you often see. So I want to use orange. Quite strong for the orange actually. And I'll mix it with some of the blue. I'm still using the fan brush here. So you can see it goes quite a dark sort of grey. Can you see that grey colour that you created from orange? You wouldn't think that blue and orange would make grey, but if you think about what makes orange paint, it's made from red and yellow. So that's the other two primary colours alongside blue. And you put all three primary colours together and you're going to get grey, which is perfect. It's better to mix the grey like this rather than sort of buy a tube of Payne's grey, which is a famous one, because it's very dark. Now I'm just going to bend that tape down. So what I want to do is put some pine trees on. I'm going to do a little line. Now the paper's still wet. That's a good sign of quality. That's what you want, that little bit of softness. So I'll pop a couple of, you can see how I'm holding the brush. I'm holding it vertically, so we'll pop those in and then we'll do some smaller ones. So misty, you're starting to get a little bit of a misty pine forest thing there, yeah?
Yeah.
But over here we can be a little bit more detailed and we can use the brush, use that nice spiky edge, and we can start to do one side of the tree. See, that's one half of a pine tree, this side. Little strokes coming out. Look how you get those individual prongs. So you've got that pine tree, yeah? Same here. So this is using orange with blue, but more blue than orange for the grey. And then we'll just add a couple more of these. So you start off with the middle sort of trunk, if you like, and then you flick out from the base. And then you go up.
You're flicking out from the middle on both sides. You get that natural light streak down the centre, don't you?
Yeah, it's not flat, is it? It looks 3D.
Yeah.
Now what I want to do here is I want to give that a few moments to dry. We'll come back and then we'll carry on. All right?
Okay, wonderful. That's coming along beautifully, isn't it? Let's have another look at the one-day special. Oh my goodness, we are busy as well. Almost 80% of the entire stock gone. Let's have another quick look at it. So remember, we'll start with that DVD again. 4 different projects, one for each season. But of course, once you've learned and once you've followed along there, you are going to take those techniques and use them in each season with many different projects that you'll create from mind, or maybe scenes that you can see yourself, or photographs from the garden. It doesn't matter, you will remember those techniques. And we've seen how easily everything comes together. No sketching. It's just with those brushes. Now we've also got, of course, the mounts, the cards. We've got the envelopes, so if you want to create those greeting cards, you can. If you want to frame those little mounts, you can certainly do it that way as well. Premium quality cardstock, the Bockingford, of course. Then we've got that circular easel, the palette there, the circular palette, which you can see you've got how many different compartments we've got around the edges. There's plenty, isn't there, for all those different colours, for mixing, the large area in the centre as well. 2 paints. So we've got the light green, we've also got that wonderful orange in there. Then, of course, the all-important brushes. We've seen a lot of work done with the fantastic brush. We've still also got that worker brush to see with a very fine point, such a wonderful quality again. And then, of course, that bag. Now, I'm a little bit afraid to open it up because I do think it is probably as tall as me. Might not be as tall as Matthew, but it's not far off me. I've got heels on. It is a fantastic buy, isn't it? All that with a flexi as well. All you need to pay today is £19.86. 282 is your item number. Don't forget about the pick and mix on the paints if you want to add in extra colours, especially that blue. Let's give you a little bit more inspiration. Let's have a look at what's coming up next. Here we go. You see, I'm looking at all those pictures and I think, the fantastic brush did that a little bit. I can see the feathers, I can see the fur on animals, I can see the little trees and the grasses as well. You've got that brush, part of the one day special worth nearly £12 on its own. The bag worth almost £30 on its own. We've got some great savings. The DVD available, not individually anymore. It is sold out, but it was worth £16. Yeah, take advantage of that price, that £49 saving. You are saving more than you're actually spending on this. 282360. There we are. We are so busy on this as well. I really don't, well, I'm not sure. I can't say what's going to happen, but the way stock is going, there is a big chance that there may not be any stock left by tomorrow morning. So if you really want this, make sure you're checking out tonight. Don't wait for those repeat shows. We're almost 80% of the entire stock gone, and when it has gone, it has gone. Don't forget the DVD is exclusive as well. Yeah, 4 great projects there, 1 for each season. Let's get back to Matthew and see how he's getting on with the painting. Is it dried enough, Matthew?
It is, yeah. So,
Lovely.
I mean, when you think about that DVD, looking at the samples there of the actual paintings, you know, you get each one, you know, each of the 4 seasons there. So it really is a complete course, you know, it covers everything from skies, how to do a detailed summer tree, as you can see there. But each one's got a different sky, each one's got a different technique in there. You've got the bluebells, you've got the autumn, you've got the nice wintry landscape. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good kit we've put together here. And that DVD was filmed just for this one day special. So once it's gone, it has literally gone. It's a collector's piece. It is.
Oh, yes, of course.
It is, yeah. It's a limited edition one. It's the only time we're going to see it. That's nice and dry. And we can see here actually how we got to this stage so far. So we started with the white paper, of course, put the tape across, then the orange went in, and then, of course, the blue at the top. And then we started to do the stipples, and look how the trees have progressed. Fantastic brush, did it proud. You can really see that nice detail. And because it is Bockingford is a good quality paper. It stays wet a long time, which is what it's all about. And this is where we've got to now. So I want to use the fantastic brush one last time on this section. Same colour. Now, if this actually dries off the paint, it's just a case to add a little bit of water. Remember that grey is mixed from the orange with a lot of blue. So it's probably 90% blue there. So again, the blue is available in the pick and mix. Give it a bit of a stipple. That makes your brush go nice and spiky. You can see it looks like a hedgehog. There it is. Coming out of hibernation for the winter. And what we'll do is we'll go in and we're just going to darken just the tall tree. Because if we do that, it'll make that one stand out against the background. It'll give depth. Now, before I finish this one, I will put some snow on those trees as well. But can you see how that just makes it look as though that one's a little bit closer to us because we've darkened it? And look at the detail that brush has given us. The individual lines created with the tip of that fantastic brush. And this is the large one, okay? We can then take the tape off, nice and steady, not to rip it off too quick. And it's given us a blank canvas. What we'll do here is use the worker brush, which is also included. And blue is a good colour for shadows in snow. If you've ever photographed snow, you get a nice blue tinge to it. In fact, you can see a snow scene here to my right, and that has got blue in the shadows. You can really see that blue in there, can't you? People think, obviously, snow's white, which it is, of course, but it's the shadows that have a blue tinge to them. So natural blue is perfect for this. And using the worker brush, which is a size 6 brush, but if you look at the point of the brush, it's very, very sharp, so it really gives you detail. And of course, you can hold the brush in different ways. You can hold it like a pen, you can hold it like a pencil, so you can get nice detail. Perfect. You can even see the bearded chuff in the trees there, look.
I wondered where it had gone.
It's just popped out, it's just popped out. Right, so what we'll do here is we'll follow that line down, and I want to do a little bit of I like my footpaths. You know, I like my footpaths. It creates depth. It leads you into the picture. We'll use a bit of water, and we're just going to water that away from side to side, and that'll blend in. And what that'll do is it'll create a flat area on the ground against the sort of upward bit. So you can see how it goes down and then it goes across, yeah? And even if that was dry, blue is a staining colour, but on this paper, you can wash it off. the cheaper papers, or should I say the lesser quality papers, the poor quality paper will stay in. As soon as you touch it, it ain't going to go anywhere. Where this, if I bring the blue in there, we can get some shadows. Clean the brush, just give it a couple of taps. It's quite surprising, but have a look at the water pot there. Can you see it looks like the River Trent or the River Thames?
Ah, have you not watched
Well, the rivers are
that from
available,
earlier?
but it's
The same pot?
it's surprisingly clear. And there's little black and white mini Matthew Palmer as well. Looking happy as an artist with a paintbrush. Eh? Bit of water on my brush there. We'll come back to the picture. What we're going to do is we're going to soften it in. We're going to soften it in. I'm going to blend it. Even if you get any runs like I did on that way, it ran into it, I can just use water. But look how surprisingly clear that is to say the water's not clear. Just don't drink it if it's that colour.
Oh, definitely not.
Matthew's top tip, don't drink dirty water. But look how that's given a three-dimensional winter landscape.
That's incredible.
It works. Now, if that was the end of the picture, I'd be happy, but we've got 20 minutes to fill. So what we're going to do is going to put a little bit more detail on. It's not the end of the picture, but I want to give it a very, very quick dry. So if we can just come back in 30 seconds, that works.
Amazing. Let's have another look at the one-day special then. Oh my goodness, we are so busy. The DVD, the greetings cards, of course, you're getting 10 of those. So the bases, you've got the frames, you've got the envelopes, you even get the sticky pads to put everything together as well. Yeah, all you need to provide really is that piece of board at the back. If you're not working from an easel, you don't need to do that. You can work straight from the table. You've got the brushes in there. We've seen both of those brushes in use now. Absolutely superb quality. I think you can really appreciate the benefits of that fantastic brush as well. Just seeing how those bristles work, the fine detail that you can get. The two paints are in there as well, and of course that amazing case. Over 80% of the entire stock now gone. That £49 saving is definitely yours if you check those baskets out. And the fact that we're giving you Flexi as well. Oh my goodness, all you need to pay today is £19.86. I'm still going to say though, if you haven't got the blue, go to the pick and mix. Do go for that. We've seen that the pearl and also the silver are very, very busy. They have the most amazing effects, especially to those winter scenes. Now the SAA, don't forget about that as well. Maybe you're looking for a gift for somebody. Maybe you want to treat yourself. You must join through the craft store if you want the free gift that you can see on the screen there. Don't put it into your basket. I know the button's there. Just ignore that. Scroll right down to the description. You'll see where it's highlighted. When you hover over the top, it will highlight further. And of course, it will take you to the next page. You just look for the Join Today button. Again, hover over that, give it a click, and there you are. You can go with your payment, of course. And that's it. And everything will be sent to you in no time at all, I'm sure. Absolutely wonderful. What a great way to find, you know, a gift, a superb gift for somebody, or as I say, to treat yourself, because you are, again, spending less to join than that free gift is worth. Let's get back to Matthew and see if we've got a lovely dry painting. Can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
It is dry, and the thing is, it looks nice as it is, don't it? So if that's all you did as a picture, you know, you can pop the mount on. Again, we can go home early, can't we? A little picture there, and it works. You know, if you send this to somebody, we're saying it's got your greetings cards, but of course, those mounts, you can go to a high street shop. There's quite a few of them that sell little frames. Yeah. You'll get a frame to fit that very easily. And what a nice gift for somebody. But let's put a little bit of detail into this then. Using the fan brush at this point, I'll make sure it's dry, so I'll just give it a bit of a pinch through some kitchen paper. And I've got the grey colour hanging around on the palette still. Nice palette. You don't have to clean your palettes. I mean, if you've seen my palette in my studio, it's that colour permanently. But it's fine, it works well. Because watercolour never goes off. You just add a bit of water, even if that was in there 6 months a year, a bit of water and it'll be fine, okay? But I've dried the brush off, which means I'm going to load it up with that grey colour that we had at the beginning for doing the tree. I'll give it a bit of a stipple. And we've got a dry brush, which is quite a nice technique for watercolours. I'm going to use an SAA membership card for this because it's a nice straight edge. Make sure it's nice and dry. It's got a bit wet. And I'll pop it on in a few places. So I want to pop it on, first of all, on the edge of the footpath. And I want to stipple a little fan brush because it's got such a fine edge. A little bit of earth that pokes through the dirt, the bit where the dog's been for a walk, keep it clean. You know what I mean? All that little interesting little bits of nothing, but it's stuff. Do you know what I mean? Stuff around your footpath. Never thought you'd be painting that, did you? Pop little bits across here, little bits of texture. Even little bits just poking out the snow. Little bit of winter foliage.
Yeah, why not?
A little bit of bushes and shrubs, and see that? It just kind of pokes out the snow there. Make sure we ground it, as in it sits where the edge was. Now if we get a bit more aggressive with the stipple, we said that the more you abuse the brush, the better it works. Give it a good old whack.
Still no more water, just straight into the paint.
No, it's just the water that's in the brush, because even though I dried the brush off, it's still damp, yeah? And then we can do this in the corner here. Put a nice little sort of bit of winter foliage in. Just added a little bit more orange to that, because I think it'll make it look a bit more, with it being closer to us, which is nice. Then we can do some little bits of, you know how sort of ferns go in the winter when they just turn like a browny colour? The bracken or the fern. Pop that in the corner quite nicely. And then we'll take the size 6 brush again, and we'll take the blue that we had before.
When you say size 6, is that the worker brush?
It's the worker brush. Yeah. It is a size 6 brush.
Okay.
And it goes down to a 0, which just shows how sort of fine the brush actually is. And we're going to pop some reflections, make it look a bit frosty. A nice frosty footpath. So we'll bring these lines coming down. So you can bring these lines down. It looks as though it's reflective, like it's frosty. So it could either be a frosty lake. See the downward lines?
If we wanted to go for the pick and mix and go for the pearl,
yes,
to add that little bit of sparkle in there,
you could
would we mix that in?
So you could use it on its own and just paint it over these white bits, and you get that nice metallic iridescent shine. Same as the silver. You could use the silver to paint the trees, because silver grey, pretty close, but of course it's got that metallic sheen to it.
Oh, lovely.
So I think that has turned from a footpath into a frosty river, a frozen river.
It certainly does look that way.
And that's what's happened, which is what's really good about watercolour. Now it shows how fine this brush is, because I could use it for painting some nice little twigs and branches poking out of the, or grasses maybe, just coming out of the winter area. And again, if you've gone for the one-day special, watch these shows back on Rewind. You've got 60 days to enjoy them. I'm sure that some people have recorded the shows maybe. Is that something that people do in this day and age? Still record on a video, on a VHS? Does anyone wants to have a VHS?
Well, what you've given us here, Matthew, we've got the 4 individual projects on the DVD, but you've given us 2 more tutorials here. Yes. Just in this hour.
Exactly. And then we'll pop the frame on, and then we've got another little finished.
Oh, wow.
So if we look at both pictures, that of course was the nice winter one, the frosty lake, and then here, just pop the mount back on, it's just slipped off. All I've done is put a bit of the foam pads on the back of those that stick it down, actually, with a little autumn scene. And of course in the first hour, launch hour, 6 a.m. 6 a.m? That was a long time ago, 6 p.m. We did the summer scene as well. So we've covered 3 seasons already. So,
amazing.
But I love that frosty lake effect, it's beautiful. Really works nice.
I think I love everything you do, Matthew, but I think for me the winter scenes are also my favourite.
I like winter,
as
yeah,
well.
it's great.
And watching the video earlier, the robin that was there as well, just amazing time of the year. Now let's have a look at the step-by-step, so to speak, here as well, because you can see we've been taking little snapshots as Matthew's been working. You saw how quickly this came together, but look at the changes. Just very simple techniques. Again, no sketching, just using the 2 brushes. You could be achieving pieces of art just like this. If you've never tried painting before, you will be able to follow along. This is what we hear all of the time from our customers, that they've never painted They buy the kits, they buy the one-day special, whatever it is, and they just work along with Matthew, following those tutorials, and they're amazed at what they can achieve. Now, the one-day special tonight, over 80% of the entire stock gone. Yeah, there is a big, big chance that this would sell out overnight. We have got, this is the final live out for tonight, but we've got many repeats throughout before we see Matthew back at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's the one-day special again. Huge discounts on this one, £49 saving. And the fact that we've got flexi as well, 2 payments of £19.86. Because you're opening up that flexi basket, if you want to go for anything else, you can certainly add that into your basket and also split the cost. The DVD, of course, for the 4 projects that you're currently seeing. Here's a little snapshot again of what you can expect to see on the DVD, so we can see everything nice and closely. Using those techniques, maybe with a card, if you've got the palette knife, as you can see, being used there to scrape away. Such an amazing technique. The tree trunks, the ground, it gives that perspective as well. There we are. Beautiful. Oh, right, okay, this is where I get really excited and also very nervous because I get to paint along with Matthew. We haven't got long, but we're going to give it a go, Matthew. What are we going to do? Do you know?
No idea. But we'll attempt something. So I've just quickly stuck this to a board. All I've done is just put a little bit each corner, but normally I'd stick all 4 sides, but you don't have to because the paper's so small and it's so thick as well. If you use a poor quality paper, it goes a bit, you know what I mean? It goes a bit wavy, but this is thick, 300 gram. So it's good stuff, good stuff. I think we'll paint in a little bit of a sort of pine tree vignette, similar to what we've just done.
Okay.
I think we can have a go. That'd be quite nice to do. Sounds posh, a pine tree vinaigrette. Let's do that. Let's use the fan brush nice and clean. I'm still using the same water. I will change it for the 8 AM show, don't worry. Give it a nice clean. It's a premium water, isn't it?
It is.
You've got to look after it.
Definitely.
So we'll clean the brush, and then what we'll do is we'll take some of the blue. In fact, I tell you what, actually, forget the blue. We'll go for the green.
Okay.
Let's do more of a sort of, you know, a colourful pine tree. That'd be quite nice. So we'll take the green.
Yeah.
There it is, nice and thick, just a little bit of water.
So we're using the whole head of the brush, the whole of the bristles.
Yeah, mix it into the brush, and then what we'll do with that is we'll paint a nice kind of pine or a cedar tree or something like that in the summer, and we'll slightly stipple, but not too aggressive, Catherine, just a gentle stipple. A gentle stipple, yeah? Yeah. So if you coat both sides of the brush, it'll make the brush go quite slim on the tip. You know, if you do this, can you see I'm laying it flat? Now, if yours is quite dry, just use the corner of the brush to pop a bit of water with it.
Okay, I might just do that.
If it's too dry, nice and thick with the green. Don't be afraid to go strong with the green. Natural green folks designed to replicate nature. And then we'll use the brush almost, as you can see, straight down, and we'll go in and we'll tap almost vertically down the paper, something like that. So we've gone straight down there. Is that giving a clean line or a cleanish line? Slightly stippled. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Great.
How far are we going?
Well,
That way you stopped?
Yeah, you can decide how sort of big or small this tree is going to be. It's going to be a study. It's going to be a study. And what we'll do is we'll give it a little tap, but only a gentle tap, because I want to make the bristles go more spiky on the edge. More spiky on the edge. And I want to choose which side I want my light side to be. I think maybe this side, so we're going to go up, and I'm just lightly stroking upwards and making them less and less and less. As you get to the top, that's the light side of the tree. Rest on your paper, hold your metal bit.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Gives you more control. So can you see I've made it slimmer at the top?
I thought that was mine for a minute, Matthew, till you put your finger
in. Yeah,
you
see, that's good, that's good. And then right at the top, I'll pop a few little taps up like that. A few taps at the top like that. A few little taps at the top.
Taps at the top.
That is the light side of the tree. And of course, all trees have a dark side. So what we'll do, the dark side of the tree. That sounds like a Pink Floyd cover band. What we'll do is we'll take the blue. Okay. Yeah. Again, it's an essential colour is blue because it's a primary. Mix it over the top of the green. It's going to go darker. Instantly going to get a beautiful, look at that, gorgeous shadow green. Perfect green, perfect for trees, nature, folks. Remember, natural green light that we're giving you in the one day special is a colour that I've designed. It's mixed from primary colours in the factory to save you a job. You buy a green from an art shop, it won't look like a green that you see outside on the trees. Okay?
Okay.
A little bit of a stipple again, Catherine, so it's a little bit spiky. And then we'll do the old dark side of the tree. Now this is going to go in.
Now I've got a question, Matthew.
Have you?
Now you're not turning your paper around. If you preferred, could you actually spin and sort of...
I think that most people would do that.
Would they?
That's how I'd work at home, if I'm honest.
Is it?
It is,
That's
yeah.
what I'm going to do then.
It is. You can do it, Catherine. Come on, spin your board around. Pushing the boat out. Pushing the boat out. So if you look at this, you can see I've got a dark side of the tree. We'll merge all these together in a second, but that's the dark side of the tree. Look how the brush gives individual fine lines. You know, think of animal fur, think of flowing waterfalls. And there's a bit of a clue for some of the shows tomorrow. We'll do some waterfalls tomorrow.
Oh.
I'm also going to use that colour as well to paint in a little bit of land, a little bit of a base to the tree.
Okay,
We can pop in some little grasses, little flicks for grasses. Imagine some little grasses poking the head through. That will give it a base. Now, chances are you've probably got a tree that's very much of two halves, a light side and a dark side. Is that right? Yeah?
Yep.
Well, if you pick up your small brush, just quickly before we finish, your little number 6 brush, and give it a clean, and just literally wipe it over tissue, so you've got a damp brush, and then just wiggle. You can see I'm wiggling from side to side with a damp brush, and it melts the dark side into the light side. It's a bit of a Star Wars reference there, but can you see that nice...
Oh my goodness, we're nearly out of time.
That
Who would believe
nice kind of tree. And that'll do us, that nice little study.
Yeah. Do you know, for a very quick attempt, I don't think it's too bad, is it?
Beautiful.
A bit
done.
more blending, maybe.
Excellent.
Do you know, another fantastic hour. Do you know, 85% of the stock has now gone. Back at 8 a.m. in the morning. Don't miss out. Check your baskets out right now. I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye-bye.